My son and his wife invited me to Hawaii for my 68th birthday. They said it was a family trip, a celebration. On the third day, they drove me to a remote beach, handed me a sandwich, and said they'd be back in an hour. They never came back. They took my wallet, my phone, my medication. They left me on a volcanic island with nothing but the clothes on my back. But what they didn't know is that an old firefighter never forgets how to survive. And when I found my way back, I brought the flames with me. They saw me on the evening news. If this story moves you, subscribe. Every day there's a new story that could be yours. Tell me where you're watching from. I'm sitting in the lobby of a cheap motel in Kona, Hawaii. The air conditioning is broken. A ceiling fan spins lazily overhead, barely moving the thick tropical air. I smell like 3 days of sweat, like salt from the ocean, like desperation. My blue polo shirt, the one my wife Margaret bought me for Father's Day 6 years ago, is stained with dirt and dried blood from a cut on my arm. I got it climbing over lava rocks trying to find a road. Across from me, a young Hawaiian woman is on the phone. She keeps glancing at me with a mixture of concern and suspicion. I don't blame her. I look like a homeless man. Maybe I am now. My name is Robert James Mitchell. I am 68 years old. I was born in Phoenix, Arizona, April 12th, 1958. I spent 35 years as a firefighter. Station 7, downtown Phoenix. I pulled people out of burning buildings. I saved lives. I trained the next generation. I retired with honors, a full pension, and the respect of my community. And now I'm sitting in a motel lobby in Hawaii with nothing, not even a piece of identification that says who I am. The woman hangs up the phone. She looks at me again. Sir, the manager says you can wait here, but if you can't pay for a room, you'll have to leave by 6. I nod. My throat is too dry to speak. 3 days ago, everything was different. 3 days ago, I still believed my son loved me. It started 2 months ago when Derek called. Derek is my only child. He's 42, works in real estate in San Diego. He married Vanessa 8 years ago. She's one of those women who always looks perfect. Hair done, nails done, designer clothes. She smiles a lot, but the smile never reaches her eyes. Dad, Derek said on the phone, his voice warm. We want to take you to Hawaii for your birthday. Just the 3 of us. Well, 4. We're bringing Tyler. Tyler is my grandson. He's 11. He's the only good thing that came out of Derek's marriage to Vanessa. That boy has his grandmother's eyes, soft brown, full of kindness. Margaret's eyes. Hawaii? I said. That's too expensive. You don't have to do that. We want to, Dad. After everything you've been through with Mom, you deserve a vacation. Please, let us do this for you. After everything I've been through. He meant Margaret's death, 2 years ago, pancreatic cancer. Same thing that took my own mother. Margaret fought for 7 months. I was with her every single day. I held her hand when she took her last breath in our bedroom, in our house, the house where we raised Derek, where we celebrated 41 years of marriage. After she died, Derek started calling more often. At first I thought it was grief bringing us closer. Then I realized it was something else. Dad, have you thought about selling the house? It's too big for one person. Dad, Mom's jewelry. Are you going to do anything with it? Dad, what about the life insurance? Did you get the payout yet? Always about money. Always circling around what Margaret left behind. But I'm an old fool. I thought it was just concern. I thought he was worried about me. So I said yes to Hawaii. I said yes because Tyler was coming. I said yes because I was lonely. I said yes because I still believed my son was a good man. We flew into Kona on a Tuesday. The airport was small, open air, with tropical plants everywhere. Tyler was bouncing with excitement. Grandpa, look at the palm trees. Grandpa, I can smell the ocean. I smiled. For the first time in months, I felt something other than grief. Vanessa was on her phone the entire time. She barely looked up when we got our luggage. Derek was checking his watch, texting someone. We rented a white SUV. Derek drove. I sat in the back with Tyler. The boy held my hand the whole way to the hotel. Grandpa, are we going to see volcanoes? Yes, buddy. There's an active volcano on this island. We can go see the lava. His eyes went wide. Real lava? Real lava. The hotel was nice. Nothing fancy, but clean. 2 rooms. Derek and Vanessa in one, me and Tyler in the other. I thought it was strange that they put Tyler with me instead of with them, but I didn't question it. I was just happy to be with my grandson. The first day, we went to the beach. Tyler and I built a sandcastle, while Derek and Vanessa sat under an umbrella, arguing quietly. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I could see Vanessa's face. Cold, calculating, like she was planning something. That night, after Tyler fell asleep, I heard them in the hallway. I cracked the door open. "We can't do it tomorrow," Derek was saying. "There are too many people at the resort." "Then when?" Vanessa hissed. "We're running out of time. The loan sharks aren't going to wait forever." "Loan sharks." My blood went cold. "We'll find a spot," Derek said. "Somewhere remote. Day after tomorrow." I closed the door quietly. My heart was pounding. I told myself I misheard. I told myself they were talking about something else. A business deal. A surprise for my birthday. Anything but what my gut was telling me. But my gut knew. My gut has kept me alive through 35 years of running into burning buildings, and my gut was screaming at me. The second day was my birthday. I turned 68. Tyler made me a card with crayons from the hotel gift shop. It said, "Best Grandpa Ever," with a drawing of us at the beach. I still have that card. It was in my back pocket when they left me. It's the only thing I have. At breakfast, Derek gave me a gift. A new watch. Silver, expensive looking. "Happy birthday, Dad. You deserve it." I put it on. I thanked him. But his eyes wouldn't meet mine. Vanessa smiled that cold smile. "We have a special trip planned for you today, Robert. A secret beach. It's supposed to be the most beautiful spot on the island." Tyler looked up from his pancakes. "Can I come?" "No, honey." Vanessa's voice was sharp. "This is for adults. You're staying at the kids' club." Tyler's face fell. "But I want to go with Grandpa." Derek cut in. "Tyler, listen to your mother." I saw something in Tyler's eyes then. Fear. The same fear I saw in the eyes of children I pulled out of burning houses. Kids always know when something is wrong. After breakfast, Tyler grabbed my arm. He whispered so quietly, I almost didn't hear. "Grandpa, don't go with them. Please." "Why, buddy?" He looked over his shoulder. His parents were at the front desk, checking something. I heard them talking last night. "Mom said they were going to leave you somewhere. She said you wouldn't find your way back." My heart stopped. I knelt down. I looked into those Margaret eyes. "Tyler, are you sure that's what you heard?" Tears were forming. "I'm scared, Grandpa. I don't want them to hurt you." I hugged him tight. "It's okay, buddy. I'll be careful." But I didn't listen. I didn't run. I didn't call the police. Because even then, even with my grandson warning me, I couldn't believe my own son would do something like that. Because he's my son, my only child. The baby I held in the hospital 42 years ago. The boy I taught to ride a bike. The teenager I put through college. How do you believe your own blood wants to hurt you? The drive to the beach took 2 hours. We went further and further from the tourist areas. The road got narrower. The vegetation got thicker. Finally, Derek pulled off onto a dirt path. "This is it," Vanessa said. "Paradise Beach. No tourists, just us." I should have known then. There was no parking lot, no signs, no other cars. We walked about 15 minutes through dense jungle. Then suddenly, the trees opened up to a small cove. Black volcanic rock, turquoise water. It was beautiful. And completely isolated. Derek set up a blanket. Vanessa unpacked a cooler. They had sandwiches, drinks, fruit. "Sit down, Dad. Enjoy the view." I sat. I ate the sandwich they gave me. Tuna salad on wheat, Margaret's recipe. The irony wasn't lost on me. After about an hour, Derek stood up. "Hey, Dad. Vanessa and I are going to take a quick hike to see the tide pools. You stay here and relax. We'll be back in 30 minutes. I nodded. "Okay." They walked away. I watched them disappear into the trees. 30 minutes passed. Then an hour. Then 2. I started to worry. What if they got lost? What if they got hurt? I got up. I tried to follow their path. but there was no path, just jungle. I called out, "Derek, Vanessa." Nothing. I checked my pockets. My wallet was gone. My phone was gone. My medication, my heart medication that I need every morning, was in the bag Vanessa was carrying. That's when the truth hit me, hard, like a punch to the chest. They weren't coming back. They had taken everything. They had left me on a remote beach on a volcanic island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. My own son had left me to die. I stood there for what felt like hours. The sun started to set. The temperature dropped. I had no water, no food, no way to call for help. I started walking. I didn't know where, just walked. The jungle was thick. The lava rocks were sharp. I cut my arm on one of them. The blood attracted mosquitoes. I kept walking. I walked until it was completely dark. Then I found a small overhang in the rocks, and I curled up underneath it. I thought about Margaret. I thought about what she would say. "Bobby, get up. Get up and fight. You didn't survive 35 years of fires to die alone on a beach." So I got up. I kept walking. It took me 3 days. 3 days of following the coastline. 3 days of drinking water from streams, praying it wasn't contaminated. 3 days of eating wild guava and hoping I wouldn't get sick. 3 days of walking until my feet bled. On the third day, I found a road. I flagged down a pickup truck. An old Hawaiian man was driving. He took one look at me and said, "Brother, you need help." He drove me to the motel. He gave me $20. He said, "The world is full of evil, but it's also full of good. You found the good today." I never got his name. I wish I had. And now here I am, sitting in this motel lobby, waiting for something. I don't know what. The door opens. A woman walks in. She's about 50, short gray hair, wearing a professional blazer despite the heat. She has a press badge around her neck. She looks around the lobby. Her eyes land on me. She freezes. "Oh my God. Robert? Robert Mitchell?" I look up. "Do I know you?" She rushes over. Her eyes are filling with tears. "Mr. Mitchell, I'm Karen Reeves. I'm a journalist with Hawaiian News Network, but that's not why I'm here." She sits down next to me. Her hands are shaking. 23 years ago, you pulled my father out of a burning apartment building in Phoenix. You carried him down 6 flights of stairs. You saved his life. The memory comes back slowly. A fire in 2003. A 6-story apartment building. An old man on the top floor, unconscious from smoke inhalation. I carried him over my shoulder. My legs were shaking. I thought we were both going to die. "David Reeves," I whisper. She nods, tears streaming down her face. "My father. He passed away 5 years ago, but he talked about you until the end. He said you were the bravest man he ever knew. He made me promise that if I ever met you, I would say thank you." She takes my hands. "And now I find you here. Like this. What happened?" I tell her everything. The trip, the warning from Tyler, the beach, the abandonment. When I finish, her face is hard. Not with pity, with rage. "Do you have proof? Anything that shows they brought you here?" "I think. The watch. Derek gave me a watch. I left it at the hotel, in the room, before we went to the beach." Karen stands up. "We're going to that hotel. We're getting that watch. And then we're going to find your son and make him answer for what he did." The hotel manager was reluctant at first. But when Karen showed her press credentials and threatened to run a story about a hotel that turned away an abandoned elderly man, he changed his tune quickly. They found the watch. Still in the room. Still in the box Derek gave me. Karen photographed it. She photographed me. She asked if she could run the story. I hesitated. "But they're my family." She looked at me with Margaret's eyes. "No, Mr. Mitchell. Family doesn't leave you to die. Family doesn't steal your medication. This isn't family. This is attempted murder." She was right. "Do it," I said. "Tell everyone." The story aired that night on the local news. Hawaiian News Network, the evening broadcast. Karen had contacts at the national networks too. By morning, it was everywhere. Retired Phoenix firefighter abandoned by son and daughter-in-law on remote Hawaiian beach. Hero who saved dozens left to die by his own family. Grandson's warning ignored as elderly man stranded for 3 days. The internet exploded. The story was shared millions of times. People were furious. Meanwhile, Derek and Vanessa had flown back to San Diego. They thought I was dead. They thought the story would never come out. They were wrong. The San Diego police were waiting for them at the airport. Elder abandonment, theft, reckless endangerment, possibly attempted murder if the DA could prove intent. And Karen's investigation had uncovered more. Derek owed $400,000 to some very bad people. Bad investments, gambling debts, loans with interest rates that would make a shark blush. He needed my money, Margaret's life insurance, the house, the pension. But he couldn't get any of it while I was alive. Margaret had set up the trust to go directly to me, then to Tyler. Derek was cut out. She knew. My Margaret knew what our son had become. That's why Vanessa was so eager to get rid of me. With me gone, declared dead after a hiking accident, Derek would challenge the trust. He'd get everything. Except I didn't die. 2 weeks later, I flew back to Phoenix. The airport was packed with reporters. And people, regular people, holding signs. "Welcome home, hero. We stand with Robert. Firefighters never die. They just burn brighter." I cried. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I cried like a baby. A young man pushed through the crowd. He was maybe 30, tall, with a Phoenix Fire Department jacket on. "Captain Mitchell?" I looked at him. "Yes?" He grabbed my hand, shook it hard. "I'm Jason Torres. You trained my father, Miguel Torres. He always said you were the best captain he ever had." Torres, I remembered. Young kid, eager, scared on his first day. I took him under my wing. "My dad passed 2 years ago," Jason said. "But before he died, he told me about you. He said if I ever had a chance to help you, I should. He said you saved his life more than once." He pressed something into my hand. "A key. This is to my guest house. It's not much, but it's yours as long as you need it. My dad would want me to do this." The key was warm in my palm. That night, I sat in Jason Torres's guest house. Small, clean, quiet. A bed, a bathroom, a kitchenette. Everything I needed. On the table was a box. Karen had sent it from Hawaii. Inside were documents her team had found. One was a printout of Derek's debt, $400,000, due in 3 months. Another was a text exchange between Derek and Vanessa, recovered from a cloud backup. "Vanessa, the beach is perfect. No cell service. No one will find him." "Derek, are you sure about this?" "Vanessa, we don't have a choice. It's him or us." "Derek, okay." After Hawaii, we tell everyone he wandered off. Early dementia. Tragic accident. I read those words 10 times. Each time, they cut deeper. My son, my only child. He was willing to let me die. To lie about my mental state. To steal everything his mother left behind. For money. For debt he created himself. At the bottom of the box was an envelope. Old. Yellowed. Margaret's handwriting on the front. "For Bobby. Open only if you need it." I recognized the envelope. Margaret had given it to our lawyer 3 years ago, before she got sick. She told me it was just paperwork, nothing important. I opened it with shaking hands. "My dearest Bobby, if you're reading this, something has happened. Something I was afraid of, but hoped would never come true. I love our son. I will always love him. But I have seen what he's becoming. The greed, the lies, the way Vanessa controls him, the way he looks at our things like they're already his. I changed the trust, Bobby. Everything goes to you. If something happens to you, everything goes to Tyler, held until he's 25. Derek and Vanessa get nothing. I also left copies of Derek's financial records with the lawyer. I've been keeping track. I know about the debts. I know about the gambling. I know about the bad investments. If they try to hurt you, the lawyer has instructions to release everything. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I didn't want to break your heart. You've always believed the best in people, even when they don't deserve it. But you deserve the truth now. Fight, Bobby. Fight for yourself. Fight for Tyler. And when it's over, find peace. I will love you forever, in this life and whatever comes next. Your Margaret." I held that letter against my chest. I could smell her perfume on the paper, even after all these years. She knew. She protected me, even from the grave. The trial happened 4 months later. Derek and Vanessa were charged with elder abandonment, theft, and conspiracy to commit fraud. Derek's lawyer tried to spin it as a misunderstanding, a miscommunication. They thought I knew how to get back. But Karen's evidence was overwhelming. The texts, the deleted emails, the financial records showing they had already contacted a lawyer about challenging the trust in case of my death. The judge didn't buy it. Derek was sentenced to 3 years in state prison. Vanessa got 5 because she was the mastermind. The day of the sentencing, I went to the courthouse. I didn't testify. I couldn't, but I wanted to see it. I needed to. Derek was led out in handcuffs. He saw me sitting in the back row. For a moment, our eyes met. I saw something there. Shame? Regret? I don't know. He opened his mouth like he wanted to say something. I looked away. I couldn't. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Tyler lives with me now. After Vanessa's conviction, Child Protective Services got involved. I petitioned for custody. The court agreed. He's 12 now. He's doing better in school. He started Little League, plays shortstop. He reminds me so much of Derek when Derek was young. Before the greed took over. Before Vanessa twisted him. Sometimes Tyler asks about his parents. I tell him the truth. Age appropriate, but the truth. They made bad choices, buddy. They let money become more important than family. Will I ever see them again? That's up to you. When you're older, you can decide. He thinks about this. Then he hugs me. I don't want to be like them, Grandpa. I want to be like you. That's the best compliment I've ever received. Karen and I keep in touch. She comes to Phoenix sometimes. We have coffee. She's working on a documentary about elder abandonment. She says my story has inspired new legislation in 3 states. I don't feel like a hero. I just feel tired. But if my pain can help someone else, then it wasn't for nothing. Jason Torres checks on me every week. He brings groceries sometimes. His wife makes tamales that remind me of my mother's cooking. They've become the family I lost. Funny how that works. The people who share your blood can betray you, and strangers can become closer than brothers. Margaret was right about everything. She saw what I couldn't see. She protected me when I couldn't protect myself. I visit her grave every Sunday. I bring flowers. Yellow roses, her favorite. You were right, sweetheart, I tell her. About all of it. The wind rustles the leaves. I like to think that's her answering. Last month, I got a letter from prison. Derek's handwriting. Dad, I know you'll probably throw this away. I deserve that. But I need to say I'm sorry. Not for forgiveness. I don't deserve that, but because you deserve to hear it. I was weak. I let Vanessa and the debt and the fear turn me into someone I don't recognize. What I did was unforgivable. I know that now. I think about you every day. I think about Tyler. I hope he grows up to be like you, not like me. I'm sorry, Dad, for everything. I read the letter 3 times. I didn't write back, but I didn't throw it away either. It's in my drawer, next to Margaret's letter, next to Tyler's birthday card. Maybe one day I'll know what to do with it. Maybe one day I'll find the strength to respond. But not today. Today, I'm watching Tyler's Little League game. He just hit a double. He's running to second base, grinning, pumping his fist. He looks up into the stands. He sees me. He waves. I wave back, and I think about what Margaret wrote. Find peace. I'm trying, sweetheart. Every day, I'm trying. The sea of people at the baseball game, the cheers, the smell of hot dogs and fresh grass. Life going on all around me. I was abandoned on a volcanic island by my own son. I walked for 3 days with no food, no water, no hope. But I survived, because that's what firefighters do. We run into the flames when everyone else runs out. We survive when survival seems impossible. And sometimes, the fire doesn't come from a building. Sometimes it comes from the people you love most. But even then, even when your own blood tries to burn you down, you can rise from the ashes. You can rebuild. You can find new family in the strangers who help you. You can find peace in the grandchildren who still believe in good. You can find love in the letters left behind by wives who knew you better than you knew yourself. If this story touched you, leave a comment. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me your story. And subscribe to Silver Vengeance. Because every day, there's someone whose voice was silenced, whose story was buried, whose pain was ignored. We're here to make sure those voices are heard. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. And remember, no matter how dark the fire gets, there's always a way out. You just have to keep walking.